It really depends, right? There's so many things that comes into play there. So I'm going to answer it in a couple of with putting a couple of scenarios together. The first scenario is that, are you buying as an individual? Are you a first-time home buyer? There are so many products out there with the different banks. Some of them are even willing to throw like 110% on you. So I think to answer that question, is a first-time home buyer, I would say shop around and see who's able to give you that. Christian is your right kind of person because he's able to shop around for you. He has the relationships with the banks, and then he can come back to you to say, hey, as a first-time home buyer, there is X and X that's available for you. The second scenario that I would like to take in there is that, you know, I always want to answer things from a perspective of what I do best, which is property investments. There are different banks that are geared for property investments, right? And depending on what you are you buying a house? So it means that it falls into a home loan. And how good is your debt? How good is your credit, right? So if your credit is good, the bank likes you, you've got a little bit of more assets with them, the bank knows you, potentially the banks are going to throw a little bit of more money to you compared to someone else whom they are not comfortable with. So they're going to take in a little bit less money that they're going to offer you. But then I throw in another scenario where you're now buying a block of flats, commercial. You're playing in the commercial space. Again, not the traditional banks. Christian can confirm here. They're around about between your 50 to 70%. We have seen the likes of TAF. TAF is now on an 80%. However, if I look at it across board, I also see that they are more expensive in terms of their money, the cost of their money. So it really depends here. And the best answer I can provide here is to say, shop around, have a person like Christian on your team, right? Have a Christian. So I work very closely with Christian and his other team members that are behind him. And he has, I think they potentially have like 90 products that are there. So the question is that if I'm to ask Christian to say, Christian, this is what I'm trying to do, Christian can go into his bag of 90 products and he can say, TJ, Mercantile at this time, given the scenario of the deal, given the scenario of the economy, given the scenario of your balance sheet, given the circumstance of your cash flow, you see there's lots of things that comes into play there. This is your best solution right now. My job at that particular time is to say, yes, boss, let's go with Mercantile, right? Or to push back and say, hey, have we tried somewhere else and what are they offering me? So if anyone else is going to give me close to 100%, hey, I'm going to be happy on it because that's infinity money. But if someone else is going to give me a 50%, now it means that I have to look for the other 50%. So the bank's money is always cheaper for us from an investment perspective. And that's why I have people like Christian who can do the work for me. He specializes in that area. I don't have to face all of those headaches. I sleep better at night.